Right, hello. This has been a long time since I've filmed with this camera, so goodness, I feel like I'm really far away, especially that I have it on my radiator and I'm on the floor right now because it wouldn't be comfortable for me to sit on the chair by my window. So here goes. So I've had a lot of requests from people mostly at school and in year 12 who are a bit stuck on basically how to narrow down their uni choices and what to do, because obviously because of coronavirus it's a lot harder to travel and you can't really go on any open days. At the moment they're all virtual, so I thought why not give them a helping hand, and also it'll be great for me to explain my own experiences and how I narrowed down my own choices, because it took me such a long time to actually decide where I was going to apply and to figure out precisely what I wanted to do. So let's get into it. Right, so first off we've got your course. So obviously you can choose your course based on your A levels and what you're taking at the moment, but when you come to decide what you're doing, you've always got to think about the fact that, do you like it? Do you like the proposed subject you intend to take at university? Do you think you can handle it for the next 3 to 4 years? And is it something which will lead you on to a potential career path that you want? Now the career path thing, that can change. That can change throughout your years of college, and it can change throughout uni, as it will probably do for me, to be honest, because right now I really don't know what I'm going to be doing in 5 years time. So I chose what I felt like I'd be capable of doing and what I'd like. Let me just adjust myself on my cushion. It's really uncomfortable. So I chose history because I felt like I could handle the workload. I liked the course, and also this is a really important thing, check if your universities have the course you want. You don't want to be just be engulfed in googling university, really liking it, and then finding out they don't have the course you have, because that is one of the worst feelings in the world. Obviously that didn't really happen for me because history is a fairly common degree, but you've got to be very careful, especially if you're going into more niche subjects. Following on from that, you should really, especially in this environment, you should really just Google, just research, just go on YouTube, look at videos that the universities do put out, because they, especially now coming up to A-level results day, they are putting out a lot of videos on student life and also what they offer, and just really interesting stuff which would be quite useful if you want to make an informed decision about where you want to go at this moment. So I'd say just go ahead and Google them, see what they're like. Also you can use websites as well, but I wouldn't personally take the rankings on university rankings very seriously, because they can be very varied and often they don't really reflect the university and specifically the course you're going to do. So yeah, I'd stay away from uni ranking pages if I were you. If you are able to, now this bit can be a bit difficult for a lot of people, especially having not been at school physically since March. If you can, get in contact with your tutor or relevant teachers for the course you want to do, and maybe perhaps ask them some questions about, for example, about the kind of work, any potential reading you might have to do, any sort of specific skills, or just general advice, and what they think might be a good fit for you, since obviously teachers do know you, they know who you are. Also, it's really important to look at the academic relevance. If you've chosen a course and you're happy with all the modules as well, yeah, here's something I should have mentioned earlier, look at the module list. Seriously, look at the module list. And if you don't like the module list, don't do it, okay? Oh, I'm getting cramps. Oh, this is so painful. I might actually come up here and sit down. It's so bad. Yeah, so look at like the relevance of the modules to what you like, what you want to explore. And this mostly applies to humanities-based subjects because for me, I'm mostly a medievalist, but I really want to learn more about like earlier civilizations and also a lot more about modern history as well, because I didn't really do any of that at A level. So that's what helped. That's what helped me choose my unis based on the modules that they offered. If you're looking at a uni and they only offer certain kinds of modules but not the ones you're looking for, then maybe it might not be the uni for you to study in terms of like academics and stuff like that. Also, check the requirements. Check the grade requirements, because if you want to, ultimately it's up to you what grades you get. I'm not sure how it's going to work next year. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Right now, I'm not even sure how I'm going to be graded, to be honest. I've lost track of the Ofcal and Department of Education updates, to be honest. I'm kind of scared at looking at that. Yeah, no. If you want to play it safe, that's fine. If you want to be comfortable, that is completely valid. Academic and exam pressure is terrible. It's not great, and honestly, your mental health is a priority, okay? But also, you should really check out like whether you can get a contextual offer. I was really surprised that for one of my universities, back when I had the 5 choices, one of them actually gave me a contextual, and I was really surprised about that. So you should always check to see whether they can give you like a contextual, and always see the criteria, because you can be like pleasantly surprised. Also, if you are like a professional like sports player as well, and also like a musician and into theatre as well, check the facilities, okay? Have a good look at the facilities that they offer, particularly sport and music, because it can mean the difference between trekking to goodness knows where for a field or a practice room, or that being like a 10-20 minute walk away. So yeah, always check that, because you've got to have places where you can still carry on like hobbies you like if you want to do that, and I think that's really important personally. So also, oh my gosh, I'm gonna stretch my leg because I am tired. So I was gonna come up here. I don't feel like it because I've got like all my uni stuff, which I'm gonna show and tell. But the thing is, like, I don't want to move it, so I think I'm just gonna stay on my cushion for now. I might just change up my position a little bit. So, come on, laptop, please. Right, nightlife. How important is nightlife to you? For me personally, nightlife, just back when I was applying, it wasn't really important. But now that I've been in lockdown for about 6 months, I feel like it is slowly becoming more important to me that I get out the house and actually, you know, enjoy myself. So just think about it. If you really want to go to like a uni in a really vibrant place, like with close to a lot of clubs and bars and stuff like that, or if you want to go somewhere a lot more quieter where the nightlife isn't as bustling and it isn't as like, you know, wild, which in the UK there's a lot of unis where they're either on one end of the spectrum or they're where it's really crazy and you can have an absolute banger of a time, and where on the other end where it can be quite quiet, especially in my firm. Worst nightclub in Europe. Oh my gosh. Oh man. So yeah, if nightlife is important to you, look at that, and don't just go on the uni website, because a lot of universities do advertise like their own events and stuff like that, and clubs nearby. Also look at the like towns where unis are in and cities where they're close to, and see like the clubs and bars there as well, to give you just a wider perspective of where you can sesh, pretty much. Also, following on from that, like what kind of campus do you want to be? Do you want to be like in a really busy city, in a town, or do you want to be just on a off-site campus, which is basically the campus where the uni is just enclosed by itself? A lot of unis are like that in the UK, and also it's a little bit easier to get around because it's just campus there, and there's not a lot of like public buildings and stuff like that. Whereas in city, obviously, you've got to navigate a lot more, and it could potentially be a lot more walking as well. Location, right? So a lot of the unis I chose were up north, and that is for two reasons. One is because I want to be far from home. I'm not going to elaborate on that right now, but you can make your own assumptions by that. And two, also because of living costs. I've chosen that because the rent slightly for like student housing in later years is slightly cheaper than down here in the south. As you're probably aware, London, going to uni in London is very expensive, and it can break people's pockets quite easily. So that's definitely something to think about, and it's also a conversation you should really have with your parents and guardians to see how much they can support you, if they can support you, help you with like living costs and stuff like that. And you should keep in mind, not focus on, but keep in mind like how much of a maintenance loan you might have to apply for. I mean, my knees have gone numb, but at least I've given some useful advice so far. I should also, because a lot of stuff is online, a lot of stuff isn't really physical anymore, I should show you what things do look like. So I have a few things here, mostly leaflets, prospectuses about the main unis I applied to, which were Oxford, Durham, Bristol, York, Lancaster. So those are the ones I applied to. Is that 6? I think 6. And the one outside of the UK, which is Trinity College Dublin, which is in the Republic of Ireland. I applied to that because I can get Irish citizenship because of my dad. So thank you, Dad. So yeah. On uni open days, obviously virtual open days might have these resources available with links and stuff, but I should just show you what these look like. So I got a really useful booklet on placements, work placements, which you have the opportunity to take in maybe as a second or third year, depending on your course. And it's basically like a guide on different companies which offered student placements, and I found that really useful since I do intend to take a year out, either to study abroad, work abroad, or do a work placement. Right now I'm not sure because of Brexit and because of Corona and what that would mean for travel, like especially for years abroad in the future. So yeah. Also I have a few like old open day guides. I have a lot of paper here, can I just say, oh my days. They also give you out lots of leaflets when you're going around for open days as well. If physical open days do open back up again, I honestly recommend grabbing as many leaflets as possible. Even if they end up in the recycling later, recycling's good for the environment, so that should be calm. Where can I find that prospectus, that meaty thing? Oh my. Oh yeah. Especially for extracurriculars, look at that. So many of them. And if you want to keep them, you can keep them. Oh man. Sheesh. When you finalize your 5 choices, obviously, which will be not for another few months yet, you get a lot of promo material from your unis, you get inundated with it, okay? So you've just got to be ready to check your inboxes and especially your junk mail. So this is my prospectus for York. This is my insurance choice at the moment, and as you can tell, it is a bit of a thick boy. One final thing I'd suggest is putting all the information that you find relevant into either a Word document or a spreadsheet so that you can find it easier, and also for future reference for personal statements and stuff like that, and for discussions with like your parents, teachers, tutors and guardians and whatnot. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed tuning into this, and please like and subscribe below, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below or message me on my Instagram or Tumblr at Vinyl Studies.